Welcome to Wayne County Connection. My name is Steve Holthouse and I'm your host, and this program is brought to you by Wayne County Vision, WCTV, and the Wayne County government. Wayne County Connection connects you with information on local towns and agencies within Wayne County. We are really pleased to have as our guest today the Centerville Town Council President, Dan Wandersse. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Steve.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
As we get started, I would like you to spend some time and just talk a little bit about the history of Centerville, your background in Centerville. Just tell us about your hometown.
Okay. Well, from what I've read from our historian, which is Einzetta Stiver, and who sits on the town council now, in 1814 the town was actually plotted, and so we've been around for quite a while. Actually, 2014 will be our 200th birthday, and
Exciting.
So we're looking forward to that. And then along with that, in about 1818, Centerville was named the county seat, and Salisbury at that particular time was the county seat, which obviously it's no longer in existence today. But we do have the original county seat from Salisbury in Centerville.
Interesting.
It's between the city building and the mansion house there.
Now, where was Salisbury?
There at Salisbury Road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the south.
Okay.
That was a little community, from my understanding, that set in there, but just never really took off. And
Interesting.
but they were the county seat, and then, like I said, in 1818, Centerville then became the county seat. And at that time, actually, Centerville was probably the largest town around, larger than Richmond. I believe, if my memory serves me correct, what I read, they were about 1,000 in population at that particular time. Along that era, the railroad and obviously the came to Richmond, along with the Whitewater River, the canal, or the transport with boat. Richmond then started flourishing more than Centerville did, and then somewhere in the time frame of around 1850, I believe, there became a kind of a feud, you might say, in the county over where the county seat should be. And I know Cambridge wanted the county seat. Richmond wanted the county seat. They wanted it. And they was in the process of building a new jail. And so with that, there became a deal between a lot of them in the county, and Cambridge thought they were going to be able to pull votes and get it. Richmond thought they would. Centerville thought they were going to be able to keep it. And obviously in about 1867, I think, then they fired the cannon because Richmond came over to take the courthouse and all the records, and that there was a little of a confrontation there.
Interesting.
And that's how the courthouse then became over in Richmond, and through a vote through all the county agencies. But so yeah, it's got a rich history, and it's on the web. The town has a website, which if you want to look it up, it's got the whole thing on that, and I'll give you that website a little later on.
Okay.
But then of course Oliver P. Morton, who was governor of Indiana during the Civil War, his house sits right there on 40 at Willow Grove and 40, and so there's some heritage there that we had governor of Indiana from Centerville, and so it's got a lot of history. To it.
Yeah.
And of course with US 40 going through it, that's another deal there, and we got a lot of our archways, which we're kind of famous for in a sense, and so. Yeah, there's a lot there.
And the antiques?
A lot of antiques, yeah.
One of the antique capitals of the Midwest, I understand.
That's what their claim to fame is, yeah. So, yep. And actually, I came to Centerville in 1973.
That was my next question. Oh, interesting. So you've been in Centerville since 73?
Since 73.
And when did you get interested in politics in Centerville?
Well, actually, there was at one point in time, I ran for school board in Centerville. Gosh, that's probably 14 years ago now, and thought I'd get active, with the school, and didn't make it, and so I didn't give it much thought, after that. But I had sat on the planning board, and then also sat on the BZA board for the town, and I had a gentleman that was on the town board at that time, Joe McDonald, come up to me and said, geez, we would really think that you would be an asset and to run for the town council. And I first thought, no, I don't think I want to do that, and didn't think I. And he talked to me, and finally I said, okay, I'll try it. And so 10 years ago now, I ran and made on the town council. So, and it's I've enjoyed it.
And you've been president how long?
10 years. This is my 10th year.
Okay.
And actually, the board has enough confidence in me that for the next 2 years, they've asked me to go ahead and stay as board president. So when I finish out this term, it'll be 12 years.
Wow. And that's in a position that's appointed by the board, or is that elected?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's appointed. We're all elected, by the town, but then the board then selects a individual, either for a 1 year or for a 4 year, whatever their time is that they have. They can't exceed that, but they have that right to choose. And we'd done it on a yearly basis up until this last time, and we had so many projects and stuff going, and that they had enough confidence in me that they so desired to go ahead and just make it for 4 years. So,
what else? What comprises the town council and the board?
Actually,
how many other people?
We have 5 on the town council. There's 5 wards. All of ours are in wards as far as the town, and those are laid out. And so there's one person from each ward that sits on the town council. Currently, we have at one stretch we had I think 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Today, we have 4 Republicans and 1 Democrat that sit on the town council.
And who are they?
Of course, Wandersse sits on there, and then Mike Crawley, which is our newest board member with the passing of Bob Tice, and then Kate Johnson Keep, she sits on there, and then Dave Mosley sits on the board, and then myself.
Okay, so the 5 of you.
Right. And then we have a town clerk, which is another elected official, which is Janice Roberts. And now that, town clerk, obviously, it's open, just one position, right there. And that's the total elected officials that we have for the town.
And how often do you meet?
We meet every Tuesday, every second Tuesday of every month, excuse me, is our meeting night. And then we try in between there, we usually set up a day where we have a work session. And we use that work session to try to go over, gather information, and so that when we do make decisions, we have enough available stuff to everyone that we can enter into a discussion and do some fact finding, so that when we make these decisions for the town, that we have everything available, rather than waiting till the meeting and then try to sort it all out.
Sure.
So we basically meet twice a month.
Okay. And I understand that you're a small business owner. What kind of a time constraint does this put on your business and your family life?
Actually, a lot. It does. Unfortunately, it's grown, over the years too. But I've been very fortunate in the sense that since I do have a small shop of my own that I'm partnered with Dick Ham, and he's been very gracious too to allow me a lot of leeway in that respect also. But yeah, you're on the phone a lot with a lot of the legislators, checking on things, trying to make sure that you can find grant money, and then obviously you get a lot of phone calls from people needing to know this or that.
Sure.
And we do have a town manager who oversees the day-to-day operation and reports to the town board. But then there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of administrative that goes on that you have to take care of in order to get this money that's available out there in grants and move the town forward. You can't just go to a meeting and say that's it.
Just grant writing can be a full-time job.
Yeah. Now we normally don't. We usually get a grant writer that writes our grants for us, and we've been we just don't have that because everybody works a regular job. So other than the town clerk, so our time is pretty tight. And
now, does the police department, is that run by your office?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a full-time police department. Currently we have 5 what we call full-time officers, then we have 3 reserves, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and they actually fall underneath the town council and the town board president, whoever that is responsible for the police department. He is the police commissioner.
Okay.
And then we have a commissioner over the fire department, and that's the person who's over the fire and water. And so those are two areas out there that have a little extra responsibility to them because.
And your fire department is volunteer, is it not?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we probably have, as far as I'm concerned, one of the better volunteer fire departments in the state of Indiana.
And you should think that.
Yeah, we have we have 25 dedicated
Wow.
people.
That's great.
And I say that they really quick response, first responders, and then the auxiliary, the firemen's wives and girlfriends and daughters and stuff that. They are very active and do a lot to enhance the fire department. So we are very fortunate in that respect that we have really a good core.
And those folks are probably on call 24/7,
yes,
aren't they?
mm-hmm. And
the whole 25
all 25
person,
yeah.
Okay.
And when we had the fire at 84 Lumber, for example, it was amazing how quickly, really, and the number that showed up that would give up, work time and family time to make sure and be there and take care of things. So, yeah, really a good group.
And how far out will you go if another community, for example, needs help and you're called?
Actually, we're underneath a mutual aid agreement with some of the other agencies, and then we're under contract with Center Township as a whole. So we basically cover Center Township, and then part of I'm trying to think what there's another little small township to the west of us, and I can't, but that we cover under a contract. And then we're in, like I said, a mutual aid agreement both with Richmond, Cambridge, all the smaller towns. So if they need assistance, we'll go.
Great. Tell me a little bit about things that have happened since you've been there that you're proud of, and also, are there any plans in place for your 200th birthday yet?
I know there's some being made,
Okay.
and Untitled has been working a little bit on that. Hopefully, obviously I got 2 more years on this, and I don't know
Beyond that?
and I don't want to speculate beyond that, but hopefully I'll be a part of the 200th birthday in some way or another, because I think that's really going to be great. But I know that she has been working on that. Historical Centerville's been, doing some stuff on that. So looking forward for 2014 to celebrate the birthday of the town. And and of course, Untitled, she's 89 years old right now.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if she, she'll be 91 if she finishes this out. And I think that's
exciting.
amazing.
It is.
And she is an asset. When you want to know what's going on in the town over her lifespan and a whole bunch of others, she knows. And we draw off of her for a lot of information. But 10 years ago when I came on the board, I'm the only original out of that group that's still there. Well, of course, Janice Roberts was our clerk then, but we'd taken a hard look at the town because the town, a lot of the infrastructure in the community was deteriorated to a point that we either had to do something or we were going to be in violation with the state. And so we had a lot of challenges ahead, for us because I don't know if people remember the old water tower that sat behind the city building. It was a 60,000 gallon, and it had been there since like 1926.
Wow.
Way past its prime, and it was in bad shape. We would hold our breath thinking that this thing might come down. So there was a lot of things like that we knew that we had to address. And like everyone, where do you get the money? How can you achieve this and not put such a burden on the citizens that, and so it was a very, very hard challenge to pick that up. And both we had in the sanitary sewer area, we had interceptor line problems, like I said, with the water problems, and the water mains would break because they had become so brittle over time. We've even found some that were clay.
Wow.
To give you an idea how far back they date. And so when you looked at all that, it was like, oh, this is almost over-consuming. And but as a group, we've all managed to have this vision of doing this. We've worked together, and we've done our politicking with a lot of people in the our state reps,
Sure.
our senator, I mean Alan Paul, and even Dick Bodeker when he was in there, and of course Tom Saunders today. Those people have been very gracious to us and helped us out a lot early on getting Build Indiana money, Department of Commerce grants and so forth. You know, we've done that, and so we've been able to, you know, get our infrastructure to a point where we could say, okay, you know, now the town could actually move forward. And so we're in the process of, you know, moving forward. We've had a couple nice things happen to us. Obviously, one that just came up is the infrastructure going out to 70 from Centerville. With NDOT, you know, being able to, going to redo the rest park out there, they want water and sanitary sewer. We had actually started working on it 8 years ago.
Wow.
But it would be taken off the plate, put back on the plate, and the route had changed, and then they didn't want sanitary sewer, and then it would come back. And I've worked with 3 governors now to get to this point. And so now it's finally looks like it's coming, you know, to light, and it's going to happen. And so that's a big plus for the community, and actually for Wayne County, because it's going to spur some growth out, you know, out in that area. We have some pains there that we still have, and some hurdles that we have to kind of get through, but that's a great thing, because now the community can say, you know, basically over the next 20 years kind of dictate where they want to go and what they want to do, and that stuff will be, you know, in place. Primarily, you know, we're looking at $7 million that the state and the federal government is actually pouring into this area for this infrastructure at virtually no cost to us. The county commissioners, you know, Mary and Tom and have really worked with us on right-of-ways and trying to get this down Centerville Road and make all this happen. And you know, they've been really great, you know, in that respect. And then again, like I said, Senator Alan Paul and Tom Saunders have been a big key in that particular project.
They're all assets, aren't they?
Yes. And we've had some other people in the community that, you know, they're tied to government and, you know, their interests, but, you know, Dick Ham has been very helpful in getting some of this stuff for us, because he has some ties over to the legislative branch of the state, and so he has, you know, went over and basically lobbied for us and helped us, and that has helped out a lot. And you know, getting over some of these hurdles as a small community, you know, we don't have a lot of the well, I'll say punch, you know, to get some of this stuff. But so our growth right now is, you know, we're really tickled that we're able to get to this point, and we think that will bring a lot to Centerville and to Wayne County. And
you have your own utility company also, don't you?
Yes, we have our own. We buy our electric from IMPA.
Okay.
But we do our own water. It's a city utility, and then our sanitary sewer is a city utility. We just got through, and we're in the process. If you go through town now, you see all the construction going on. We set up a stormwater board, and we are addressing our stormwater problems, which seem to have appeared like overnight here a few years ago. And so we were able to get some grant money, and in conjunction with the county, we did a joint study to find out, you know, our problems, and then what was on the outlying, you know, contributing also to this. And so through that study, we now have been able to take steps, and we set up a stormwater board, and we're addressing a lot of those problems in the stormwater. Got a lot more to do, but initially this is, you know, what we have to do. We have to do these before we can go on you know, with that. So
when you're almost 200 years old, things are going to need fixing.
Yep. and new things seem to prop up, you know, on a daily basis that you have to address.
What is the population of Centerville now, Dan?
If you go by census, the last census, it's somewhere around 2450. Realistically, I'd say we're probably pretty close to 26 today.
Okay.
With, you know, some growth. So we've grown, and here again, we're trying not to grow too fast, but we do want some steady growth, and so we're monitoring that, and but we're excited about it.
And you said you've been there since '75, is that right?
I moved to Centerville in 1973.
73, okay.
Yeah, I'd served 4 years in the Air Force, originally from Richmond.
Okay.
and of course, Steve, we went to school together, and but I graduated from Richmond High School, and I had went into service, and when I got out of the service, we were looking for a house on the west side of Richmond and couldn't find something in our price range, and so we was looking also then in Centerville, and a house happened to crop up that fit our budget, and we took it. So we bought that house in 1973 and raised 2 kids there, and got 2 sons, and been there ever since.
Really? It's about time for you to move, isn't it?
No. No, I'm too old to move now. I should have done that sooner.
I'm just moving here from Michigan, going to work at Reed Hospital.
Okay.
Why should I consider Centerville?
Well, one thing, I think we're a very small community with that, and with that, what we have to offer, I think, and one of the things that I really like about Centerville is that all my neighbors know me. You can walk through town, I think everybody knows everybody, and we kind of watch out for each other. You know, in the sense that if I see something that's going on in the neighborhood or somewhere that I know is not so, because we have more of a personal touch with each other in the community. And being a small community, you can do that, and I think that's one of its major assets that it has.
Sure.
And so from that respect, we've really enjoyed being there and raising our family there. So that would probably be the primary thing that I would pass on to someone, because there's business-wise and so forth. Obviously, most people come to Richmond.
Sure.
And a lot of our people work in Richmond from our community. So we're such close neighbors that hopefully each one of us will enhance the other one.
But you do have some business in Centerville. Tell me a little
Yes.
bit about what operates there besides the antique shops.
Besides the antique shops, right now we have a little screen printing business that sits there on North Morton. That's a small family-owned company. Minix Water System is there, which they do a lot of the well drillings, and that's they're actually up in the old stockyard. UPS, there's the terminal there that's off of 4th Street. When we get Crown Creek Boulevard, which is the old railroad bed, the street in, we'll be widening that. We have a new business that went in that they're making Model A parts down there in the old pattern shop. That's a new one that has come into town.
Interesting.
We have obviously we have a small grocery store, Ernie's Market, there where Ford's used to be. That's relatively new, and then of course we had the Shake Shop. Then we had we've got several restaurants.
Some nice
Jags,
restaurants,
yeah, as one, and then we have Wandersse, which is a relatively new one. She came down from Chicago to come to our community because it's small in the atmosphere, and set up the candy jar is there, the homemade candy, and so there's a lot of little little cubby, what I call cubby hole business, mom
and pops, exactly.
Right,
Sure.
family-owned businesses, and that are still thriving there. And then we've had some inquiries from other businesses that we hope to attract here real soon. And
Anyone coming in that you can talk about? Anyone new?
Not that I can really talk about,
Okay.
but there are some
I understand.
that's new. Believe it or not, we've had I'll say one major company speak to us about what we have.
Good.
And when certain things might be in place, and that would like to take a hard look at us. And then we've got a few retail that obviously they're looking at coming on either the west side of Richmond or in the Centerville area.
Good.
And I know Mayor Sally Hutton and I've had numerous conversations, and we would like to work on US 40 between the two of us, and kind of spruce a few things up and attract some stuff into there. So, her and I are going to take a look at that here in the near future.
Good.
And
I think over the last few years, especially, the county has really started coming together.
Yes.
And working together a lot more closely,
Right.
especially with the Economic Development Corporation and so forth. I think things are really looking bright for Wayne County. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. We've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about Centerville.
appreciate it.
And I appreciate you coming to share with us. And thank you for watching Wayne County Connection.
Oh, hey, mister, studied algebra in school and got a better job than I could. You take the last cup.
Oh, no, mister. Stuck in an entry-level job because you only learned basic math. I don't have a boss riding my butt like you do, so you take it so you can get back to your desk.
You know, I probably should, but maybe Miss AP Calculus with the $200 haircut in the big office upstairs would like a cup.
Oh, no, Mr. What was your name again? Never mind, it doesn't matter. I'm too busy doing important things to care. I just came down for some sweet and stir.
You know, if my limited math abilities weren't keeping me from getting a better job, I'd quit this afternoon.
I don't blame you. But thank goodness you're stuck here because we really need someone to make the coffee.
These people are in the business of changing lives. They're not miracle workers, though some would say they are. They're not physicians, but they know where to look for cures. Like helping this woman with breast cancer find a treatment that saved her life.
Now I can tell my doctor what I want to do.
Or showing these businessmen where to find local promotional opportunities.
Wow! There are 45 home games! Cool!
Or connecting this man with his roots.
Mr. Schwartz.
I didn't know there were any still alive. I must plan a reunion.
Every day, Indiana libraries change lives. And the people who work there
Let me help you.
work for you. Global reach, local touch. Connect with your Indiana library.
I helped turn my child's public school into a whole new kind of school. One with a curriculum that really motivates kids. One that has extended hours, 6 days a week, year-round. With loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. One that has support services like medical and dental right there. A school where parents' involvement is encouraged. Where teachers have more time to teach. And students are excited about learning. There's just one problem. My child doesn't ever want to come home. You can help turn your school into a community school for excellence. Find out how. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Only on public access.
You're watching Whitewater Government Television, Cable 11, a service of Whitewater Community Television.